What's up, Deutschland? How are you guys today? Surprising German cultural shocks as American. So basically, Americans are shocked by Germans, by their culture, and this is a video about them and their shock, okay? So guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, support the channel. Guys, subscribe please. I know a lot of people watching this without subscription. Be so kind, support the channel. Like, if you enjoy my content, you can always donate and support the channel by becoming a member. And let's go. A very calming intro, isn't it? I wanna sleep under it. I'm falling asleep. Guys, get to the action, please. Intro is just too slow. Okay, I'm just gonna
share with you our American culture shocks in Germany. So hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. I'm Sarah of mymerrymessylife.com, and this is...
Hey, I'm Kevin.
And we are parents of 4 children.
Wow,
ages 4 to
4
11,
children.
And
listen, they are heroes. They are not parents, they are heroes. To raise 4 children, you need to be very strong people.
A cat.
A cat.
And we moved to Germany from America in February 2021, and we're just trying to restart our lives and do new and exciting things and see what it's like to live here in Germany.
Yeah.
Okay.
So today we want to share with you 10 culture shocks we've had as Americans here in Germany. And this is mostly because I did a poll and said, what are you guys wanting us to do videos about? And a whole bunch of people said German culture shocks. So for us, I hope these culture shocks will be different than a lot of the other videos you've seen on YouTube.
Alright, I'm gonna tell you quickly my culture shocks, guys. 14 years of age, kids can drink beer in Germany. This is ridiculous for me. I am shocked. I don't know how to react on it. I mean, why? I mean, people, like kids, they're not grown. Their brain is small yet, you know, it's not developed till the end. To give them beer, maybe there's some special beer, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe there's like 1-2% beer for them. I don't know. I just don't understand why you guys do it. Second is that you can drink alcohol in public places. Oh my gosh, this blows my brain, man, because here in Latvia straight away policeman comes and like gives you like a ticket with the you know that you have to pay for.
Because for Kevin and I, a lot of the things that are done here in Germany, we're used to, because Kevin lived in France for 5 years and Sweden for 5 years, and I lived in France for 2 years. And
so we knew a lot of the things
about how Europe, and
we're ready for some of those things.
Yeah. And I know that there are definitely cultural differences and everything else between the different countries in Europe, but there are things that are the same, like needing to know, you know, the train and bus schedules, and, you know, things in France are actually, there's a lot of similarities, like you got to be quiet when you're in public and quiet on the trains. And so some of the things that a lot of other Americans experience when they come to Germany or even other European countries is that when you go to the grocery store, you have to bring your own bags. You're not given any bags. You have to buy your bags. They're trying to save on plastic and be good for the environment.
For sure.
Go, guys. It's the right move.
In America, they don't do it, or what?
Needs to get on that. You don't get any plastic bags in the grocery stores. And in every store, you have to bag your own groceries as well. You don't get much customer service when you go to stores in France or Germany. I'm sure it's like that.
Brother, those Americans, man, they are so used to comfort. We here in Europe, we know all about this comfort. We go to the shops and we bag our own groceries, okay? This is how Europeans are doing that, just so that Americans know.
Probably in a few other European countries, but it's just not... They just kind of leave you alone, which I like. I'm kind of happy, like leave me alone and let me shop. So it just depends on your personality. There's no public restrooms generally in Europe. You've got to go to the downtown city center or the village center, in our case, to the Rathaus, and pay your 20 cents to use the restroom. Stores don't really offer.
Oh my gosh, I hate this. I hate when I have to pay 20 cents for a restroom. You know, but what to do if I don't have 20 cents? I had this situation so many times, man. I had to go and look for another place to go to toilet.
For public restrooms. You've got to plan ahead for going to the restroom before you go somewhere. So those were not culture shocks for us. We knew all those things. We've lived those things before.
So number one for us was the German school supplies.
Yeah.
It was very daunting. Just all of the words Federmäppchen and all these different things.
We're like, what is that?
But then they need a fountain pen, and then they need these fine liners and colored pencils and watercolor paints and a compass and a ruler and all the right lengths and all so lots of different stuff. So that was pretty interesting to have to get.
And we didn't know what we were supposed to get until we put it into Amazon. We just had to put the words directly from the piece of paper into Amazon, and then we're like, oh, that's what Federmäppchen is, or whatever it's called.
Okay.
So school supplies, and they had to be correct. The teachers were like, this must be correct.
Yeah, I got lots of notes. Well, such and such kid does not have XYZ, still doesn't have XYZ. Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying.
We feel like we're being sent to the principal's office. Sorry, we're the dumb foreigners who don't know what we're doing.
And all the stores are closed and I have to wait 2 days for Amazon to deliver it.
Exactly, all the stores are closed. Where are we supposed to get this stuff? So number 2 is...
Listen, I mean, during my school years, I just came. I mean, it doesn't show the bright side of me. I just came to school without anything, without books, without pens and pencils, and I'm just like, okay, today's mission is to get a pencil from or a pen from my classmate, you know what I mean? And this was happening all the time. I was I was asking them to give me pen all the time. In the end, nobody gave me pens. Nobody. They hated me for that.
Also something that has to do with school. In fact, the first several of these are all going to be culture shocks that come with school. Since that's been a huge part of our experience here in transferring to Germany, is our kids going to different schools and different languages. The second thing is neatness in handwriting in the schools and how important neatness is.
Yeah, all the little lines.
A lot more than in the U.S.
The lines have to be drawn with your
they make them draw with a ruler.
I mean, I was used to that in engineering school. That we had a lot of that.
In engineering school,
they would make sure you do all that right and draw all your letters the right height and everything.
Right. But not when you're 7 years old.
I know they're doing that in elementary school, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great that they're teaching them neatness, but we had to get used to it. We didn't, our kids would just sort of scribble out stuff like they'd done in the U.S., and we would get notes back from the teachers.
Yeah. I love the energy from this couple. I feel they really love each other. I really feel it.
You need to make your kids write more neatly. Oh, sorry.
So then number 3 is needing to have Hausschuhe at school. Definitely, that was the number. They mentioned that right away. Got to have your Hausschuhe at school.
Which took us several weeks to get, and that was a big mess.
It was a big mess. But we got that settled now. But even having them at home and taking your shoes off when you go into somebody's house and making sure that our kids know that they need to take care of that. That was kind of neat.
Oh, and I have a question for all of you. I have heard from some people that you should have extra house shoes in your house for when guests come over. And is that really true? Is that do many of you do that? Because I was like, well, then you'd have to have what sizes would you get? And do you need kids size? Do you need adult size?
No, medium.
I don't know how that works. So let it.
Okay, I will tell you my experience about the slippers at home. Usually I have a couple of pairs of slippers just in case somebody comes. Usually the size is around my feet or maybe a bit less. And I think it's normal, when you come to other people's houses and you take off the street footwear because if you don't do it, you bring the dirt inside the house, right? So why should you do it? You just take it off, put the slippers on your feet, and let's get ready to action. Okay, sometimes, I just come and I walk, I take off my shoes and walk in socks. Like, that's normal practice also.
Snow.
Yeah, maybe they're like sort of like sandals or flip-flop type things where you don't fit your heel in. Maybe, I don't know. Then it doesn't have to be exact size. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. And number 4 is school recess. It happens in the rain, the snow. It doesn't matter the weather. The kids will go outside, which we think is awesome and we totally agree with. But we were not prepared for that. And as you've heard in our school video, which I'll link up here, I think it is, you can go check that out, or it's in the description box below. But we mentioned in that video that we have sent our kids to school without snow pants and snow boots before, and they have come back home soaking wet.
For sure.
And our daughter Ella, she's 4, and she's getting more settled into kindergarten. And I was just taking her there yesterday, and there were signs all over the place. Eltern, don't forget your Regenjacke and your Regenhose.
Jacke.
I was like, oh crap, I didn't bring Ella's Regenhose. Ella does have a pair. We're good American parents trying to pretend like we're good Germans. We do have rain pants for Ella, but I didn't bring them that day, of course. And then I brought them yesterday, and they didn't go outside.
By the looks of it, it looks like they are from some warm part of America where there was not a lot of snow, and that's why they were not aware of this, that basically when there's snowing, you have to wear like special shoes or wear like a special pants that don't get soaking wet. That is my observation about this.
So anyway, we got a note. And then we got notes from the teacher. She must have a rain jacket. And then the teachers gave me very specific instructions on the type of backpack that Ella should have. It needs to be a kinder size backpack, which is about this big, and it has to have a chest buckle because it's not good or safe for little children to be, without their back support. I totally agree with, but I wasn't used to that.
That's
so I had to
interesting.
make sure when I bought her backpack that I had a chest strap.
So number 5 is Germans are serious about their bicycling. In America, maybe kids might have a bike when they're young and they can ride around in the cul-de-sac.
In the cul-de-sac, in the driveway.
In the driveway. But here it's a way of life, and they're serious.
Yeah.
And
at least it's more so in Bavaria, I've been told.
Oh, really?
So let us know, Germans. Is there a lot of bicycling for fun where you live too? In Bavaria, people bicycle all the time. They're everywhere all the time.
I mean, my one of my colleagues is saying it takes their 5 and 7-year-old kids on 30-kilometer long bike rides.
30 kilometers?
Yeah.
Are you exaggerating?
No, I am not exaggerating.
Listen, 30 kilometers for a bike ride, that's not a lot. Even for a not prepared person, it's really not a lot. I mean, if you don't rush, if you do it in a calm manner, it's gonna be okay,
Exaggerating.
Oh my
That's dead
gosh.
serious. 5 and 7-year-olds.
5 and 7.
Yeah.
And our other friends, they just took their kids to see Oma and Opa, and it was 11 kilometers one way.
Yeah, and then
Through the mountains, okay?
Yeah.
Riding their little bicycles, 6 and
Not
8
too
years
bad.
old.
Yeah. So they're serious about their bicycles.
Wow,
and
beautiful.
I was a noob in a lot of
gosh.
ways, I guess, in terms of assembling the bikes, and you guys made sure that and we had that footage of showing the bikes with the forks turned around, and I mean we've had people on the streets.
Slammed for that on YouTube.
But it's really great, and making sure that everything's right and everything's safe. And knowing, I guess there's rules on what age kids can ride their bikes on the sidewalk. Is it 10?
We've been told it's 10, but I've never seen that officially.
That if you're under 10, they can ride on the sidewalks, but if they're over 10, they're supposed to be on the street, riding on the street instead of the sidewalk. So still trying to figure out.
Just imagine the kid who was riding a bike all his life on the sidewalk, and now parents are telling him, now you are becoming older. From 11 years old, you need to ride on the road. And the kid like, no, mother, I'm afraid, please. This is from becoming a man when you were a boy, And the mother tells you, you know what? In 3 years, you will be able to drink beer also. So this is your exam to become a man.
All that out. Serious about the bicycles. It's pretty cool.
Yes. Okay, so number 6 is Bavarian Traditional Tra. Okay, in our first video, we're totally going to, roast ourselves or...
Own up to our ignorance on it.
Well, there's a new trendy word for it, but I can't remember what it is. It's not roast, because I know that's an old word. We're aging ourselves here. But anyway, we're going to totally own up to this mistake. In our very first video where we say, we're moving to Germany, Kevin's got a fake Bavarian hat on. And we were drinking Weiss beer but it was not in the correct cup. We got slammed for both of those things.
Well, you call it a
Oh
Stein.
no.
I called it a beer stein.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so we made two big German faux pas, and we're still getting views and comments on this video for Kevin wearing that hat, and they're like, for the love of God, please take off that ridiculous hat. That is not like representative of Germany. And you're so right. Bavaria does not represent most of Germany. It only represents Bavaria. So for our American viewers, lederhosen, you know, the suspenders with the little strap, and the shorts, that's what the men wear. And the women wear dirndls, and that's the dress. And then all of it is called tracht, okay? So each little region and town sometimes has different tracht that represents that town. So what we ended up doing was basically cultural appropriation, which is being called out a lot in the United States right now. It's a big deal going on socially, you know, and people are talking about how it's wrong for someone on the outside to take a little piece of someone's culture and cheese it up. You know?
Make it sort of like a costume, you know.
Make it like a costume.
Instead of, you know, authentic.
And the person wearing that costume doesn't even know what it is that the costume represents and how special it is to the people you have just taken it from. Just like Americans have been taking Native American ceremonial wear for hundreds of years and turning it into these like silly costumes, and they're taking something that's sacred to Native Americans and turning it into something that is cheap and tacky, and you're not honoring what it originally represented and still represents to many people today. So we stepped our foot in it when Kevin wore the hat. We didn't realize how important and special the Bavarian Tracht is to so many Bavarians, and that it doesn't represent all of Germany. We did know that it didn't represent all of Germany. We did know it was a Bavarian thing.
But we were moving to Bavaria.
And we're moving to Bavaria, yeah. So we knew that. We weren't totally clueless, but we were somewhat clueless. So even we feel like we're pretty woke people. So that took us aback. We were like, oh my gosh, we still have more to learn.
Yep.
You know, you're never completely there. You always have more to learn about other people, and to realize, hey, you should be careful before making fun of somebody else's traditional clothing and ceremonial wear and be...
Well, that's for sure, because you can make people angry because of that, you know, who represents these costumes, who represents the culture, and you don't want to do it, my friend. No, no, no.
Really careful how you wear it and how you represent it, and maybe go read a book about it first, or watch some YouTube videos about it first before you wear it.
So number 7 is being quiet on trains and being quiet in public in general.
Which
you
we
know,
knew.
we knew, but we weren't sure. We didn't live that with our children, and you know.
Yes, we'd only lived here without children before.
Yeah, and you know our household is loud and boisterous as it is, so it always takes us a little time to calm down the kids and say, okay, no, we're not going to be loud, we're not going to punch each other.
Oh, look at that kid, such a beautiful kid.
That's been something we've been working on.
Yes, every time before we get on the trains, Kevin has been like, okay, kids, this is a calm and quiet place. You're not going to talk loudly. You're not going to run around. You're going to sit in your seat.
You're not going to put your feet up on the seat, you know.
Yeah. You're going to be respectful. And it's been working. They've been behaving very well.
Is it like real? Is it for real that you need to be like quiet? And does it work in every part of Germany, or it works only in Bavaria?
On the trains.
For sure.
Number 8 is airing out the house. Now, before we came to Germany, we already knew we were going to have to air out the house. We'd watched so many really good YouTube videos on it. In fact, I want to mention one from Passport to 2, Donnie and Aubrey's video on luften and airing out the house. And I learned so much from it. And I watched many others that, I'm sorry, I can't remember, but that one definitely stood out. We knew we were going to have to air out the house. We used to do it in France, but we didn't really do it as a ritual.
Right.
We didn't do it every single morning. And so we started to notice, or I did, that there was sort of like a black film on the tiles in our bathroom. And I knew immediately that was mold. So I wiped it all down, and sure enough, the cloth was black. So we talked to some of our friends, and they're like, are you airing out the house every single morning? And we're like, well, no, we just basically only air it out when it's like warm enough.
Or after every bath.
Or after,
we were good about that. After every shower.
That's true. We were doing it after every bath and shower. So since then, we've been airing out our house every single morning. I really love it. I've acclimated to the cold. We came from Georgia, which is really hot. And I've acclimated to the cold. And I love
You see, I told you they come from a place where there's no snow, because that's why they were not aware of the clothes and you know, the snow overall, what kind of effect it does.
Love that fresh, chilly air in the morning. I think it's fantastic
That's
now. And
especially
I
in
look forward
summer.
to airing out the house. In fact, Kevin comes behind me sometimes and shuts the doors because he thinks it's, or shuts the windows because he thinks it's.
Well, we don't need to
it's
leave
too
it
cold.
open. No, it's not that it's too cold. It's that it's been open too long. We haven't turned the heating down. Anyway.
Well, I do turn the heating down.
Yeah.
But maybe I do miss some now and again. Anyway, so airing out the house is serious business and it must be done well. And we noticed in our video where we talk about having no dryer, I think it was the video 10 things we had in America but don't have in Germany. I said that we don't have a dryer here, and I'll link to that up here and down there. And it was so funny, the comments. I mean, I got massive amounts of comments.
That's like a very small dryer for 4 people, literally very small dryer. Because like imagine like washing clothes for 4 kids, man, that's not enough. I mean, I have like a dryer like that, and sometimes it's not enough for me myself, you know. Wow, maybe they have like, everybody has just 2 pairs of clothes or something.
Up here and down there. And it was so funny, the comments. I mean, I got massive amounts of comments about who has a dryer and who doesn't. And we did a poll later on, and it turns out about 40% of you do have a dryer. 60% did not have a dryer.
How do you dry clothes then if you don't have a dryer? Oh my gosh. What is happening, Germany? Come on. Dryers are very good. Guys, you need to start buying dryers, man. They're so handy.
And you all mentioned luften and airing out your house, and how you love to have your clothes airing outside, and how you just love fresh air. So I think that's really great.
And number 9 is the opening hours for stores. Now, we did know, of course, that Sundays, basically everything is closed. All the bakeries, it's really nice. You can always go to the bakery on Sunday morning.
Bakeries are still open here from 7 to 10 in the morning.
Ending on holidays, too. So we knew that on Sunday you can't go to the grocery store, but it's been a lot more than that, at least here in our little small town. Every place seems to have a day of the week that's it's Ruhetag, it's
like Sunday.
day of rest. That's not Sunday, and here it's Mittwoch on Wednesday. So basically every store is closed on Wednesdays. So it's closed on Sundays, closed on Wednesdays. At least the grocery store doesn't have a Ruhetag, at least.
Oh, thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Oh gosh.
But all the stores they have are around here, they're closed on Wednesdays as well. And then they're often closed in the middle of the day. There might be, like for lunch, they might be closed.
Yes.
You know, and they might close at 2 in the afternoon. They might not be open very late in the afternoon.
And then some of them are only open from 3 to 6 p.m.
Yeah, right, or whatever. You know, you just never know.
You never
and
know.
There's been several stores we've gone to, and you just show up to, and there's a little note, handwritten note on the door. Closed today. We'll be opening tomorrow at such and such a time. It's
so
very
charming.
quaint. Yeah,
it's like
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's so.
Here in Latvia, we have stores working 7 days a week. Do you guys like even supermarkets close on Sunday? If the supermarkets close on Sunday, it's a big problem. Over here, like every store works like every day, basically. Not every store, but supermarkets work like from Monday till Sunday, that's for sure.
So cute. And then last but not least, number 10, all products, of course, are in German, as they should be. But that was a big culture shock for me at first, which it may not sound like that would be a culture shock. So what I found is that when I go to the store, it takes me a lot longer to buy things because I have to get out my German Translate app and try to understand some of the things. Like it took me a while to understand what Backpulver is and how that's different from natron. For baking, that's baking powder and baking soda. And so I had to figure all of that out. I had to ask questions on Instagram and get help for it, and finally figured that out. And then when we first moved here, I was deliriously tired. I was so out of my mind with exhaustion. And I started using the dishwashing tablets in the laundry. We had 100 of them. Our relocation agent has a big box of 100 of them. So for the first 100 washes of all of our clothes, we were using dishwashing tablets. And I always thought our clothes felt a little stiff and weren't quite getting clean like I wanted them to. And now that I have actual laundry detergent, I know why.
And then they used the laundry powder, you know, the washing machine powder to wash the dishes, and it was all the way around.
I accidentally bought dishwashing rinse aid to use as dishwashing detergent. And I kept wondering why our dishes weren't getting clean enough. Well, it's because the rinse aid was in there. And so just things.
Rookie mistakes.
Yeah. Like there were some things I didn't translate because I thought,
I got
surely
it.
this is dishwashing detergent.
It looks right.
Right, it looks right. It's got a little shiny glass on it and stuff. Yeah. Surely this is the right thing. No, it wasn't. And so that's definitely been an adjustment. And really all of these culture shocks aren't really shocks, but they are, you know, big adjustments that took us a while to figure out and to muddle our way through. So, and one thing that we've left off,
Yeah, so
Kevin's thing.
there's one thing that we didn't put on here that definitely was a culture shock, is handling all the recycling and all the different types of recycling streams. And we purposely left that off because that's such a big deal. We're going to do a whole
Yes.
video just on going to the Werkstoffhof, the recycling center, and figuring all of that out.
Yes.
So
Yeah, so even though we prided ourselves on knowing European life and having done a ton of research before we came, we watched so many videos from Germans and immigrants and expats and whatever living in Germany, and I feel like I knew so much before I came, but to live it and to walk through it was totally different. And there's very few videos, if any, that I've seen on YouTube about adjusting to the school changes, except maybe from my friend Antoinette Emily, the New Zealander who lives in Germany. She does have some stuff about the differences of school, and I watched all of her videos on that.
I need to watch the differences in school. I saw one of the guys reacting to that video, so I'm gonna react to it also. Guys, if you have something to suggest, don't be shy. Use comment section for that. Use the link below the video in the description. Add your suggestions. I would gladly react on them. Danke, danke, danke.
And if you want more help, you should go to her channel too. But yeah, school was a huge adjustment. So
yeah, it was.
anyway, we've been talking long enough now. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you liked this video. If you did, we'd love it if you'd give it a thumbs up. Let us know what you think about our culture shocks down below, and we hope to see you again soon. And yeah, talk to you later. Cheers.
Just
Oh, cheers. So what can I say? Looks like those people really decided to move. That was a hard decision, but they did it. They adapted as a normal human beings, and they are happy now in Germany, you know, rather USA. I wonder what were the reasons why they left USA and why did they choose Germany, you know, over USA. That's the thing I would love to know. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I really enjoy these kind of cultural shocks. Always enjoy learning new things about the Deutschland. Okay, yes, danke for watching, and also auf Wiedersehen. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.